Today is International Survivors of Suicide Loss Day, where those who have lost someone by suicide come together. Here in Amarillo, it was hosted by the Texas Panhandle Suicide Prevention Coalition. A group of women met at the Hope and Healing Place to recognize the importance of this day, connect, understand, and find hope through their shared experience. ABC 7's Maria Serrano has the story.
As a community and us as humans, we need to step up and try and see what we can do to help intervene. And sometimes postvention can also be prevention.
I think there's always a need for us to come together as a community and support one another, specifically when we're dealing with grief and loss.
Co-organizers and members of the Texas Panhandle Suicide Prevention Coalition, Haley Stoddard and Mackenzie Ellis, say grief and loss in relation to death by suicide is different for everyone.
Society's expectation of grief is typically we move on, and that's not true for everyone. But also we know that survivors of suicide, people who are left behind when they have a loved one die, are more at risk of acting on suicidal ideations themselves.
Talking about resiliency, coping skills, guilt, and shame.
Addressing the question why, which we never really have an answer to when it comes to death by suicide.
This is why Stoddard says giving people a place to come together and express frustrations, sadness, and emptiness is crucial.
Those human connections often are the things that save us.
It brings people together who can connect through their pain, and they can recognize, hey, I'm not alone in this, because I think it's through connection where we as humans really start to find healing.
But with the holidays coming up, how can we cope with this time of year after we've lost a loved one?
Sometimes it's just a matter of trying new things. I know for me personally, I discovered a couple years ago that poetry is a good way for me to express some of my feelings and emotions.
In Amarillo, Maria Serrano, ABC 7 News.
The goal of this get-together was for suicide loss survivors to gain a message of growth, resilience, and connection. As far as the Texas Panhandle Suicide Prevention Coalition, it does this event every year in November, typically the weekend before Thanksgiving.